Hi, hello, and welcome to episode 4 of the Creative Process podcast. I'm Timothy Valdez, and I only listen to one podcast. It's called the Pequeño Pod, and in their podcast, they always like to read their comments. So I'm going to do that too because people are actually commenting on my videos. So I'm going to jump right into that and just start doing that. These are from YouTube, and these are all just from the previous episode, which is episode 3, and I turned it into shorts. And so these are from the shorts. Somebody said, "Yay!" What the heck? Someone said, "I don't care." I don't even know what that video is about, but they're like, "I don't care." Someone else said, "Never spend money you know is not yours. It's not even an argument over what is right or wrong. Survival demands that you do not. Hold on. Survival demands that you do not earn the justified wrath of the powers that be, for for they are beyond comprehension." Okay. And then someone else responded to them saying, "Shut up, you smart blank. I spend every single ruby as much as I can, irres- irrespective irrespective of what is mine and what is yours." That's funny. Someone else said on a different video, it was called "I Published a Book. No one cared." That's the name of the video. And then someone said, "Are we being homophobic at the start?" I went back and I watched that video, and I don't even know what I was talking about when I said that sounds gay or something. So that's why they commented that. Um, Someone said, "Pursue your passion, maintain your creativity, and we can do it all together. Your imagination is powerful." I think I replied to them. No, I didn't. Someone else said, "So true, man. So true." And oh, someone said "nice" on one of my videos, and someone else said, "I can't even take a 3-minute nap." And in that video, I think I said I took a 3-hour nap. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure my sister said that. They commented on that. Okay. And just a little, um, just do a little deep dive into the channel analytics from total overall, or within the last 28 days. My channel got 27.5K views. That's pretty cool. That is definitely from the shorts because I think like 10 of them got 1,000 views or something like that, or probably more than 10 because I have 27,000 views. But the video, the actual video, let's see if I can find it, of episode 3, it only got 16 views and 2 likes, which is cool. I'm glad someone listened to it and someone cared. But my YouTube shorts, a whole bunch of people watch those. I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but like, I don't know. I would think I would get like maybe 50 or 100 views on the actual podcast episode. But on Spotify, I have it on my computer right here. I got 22 plays, so that's cool. That's more than on YouTube, which is 16, and no followers though. On YouTube, when I before I uploaded episode 3, which is the first episode on YouTube. If you want to listen to the first 2 episodes, they're only available on Spotify, and it's just audio. um, what was I saying? The so I got 22 plays on Spotify and no followers. But on YouTube, I have 40 followers. And before I uploaded episode 3, which was the first podcast episode, I had 29 followers because it was my old podcast. But I rebranded it to The Creative Process. So I started off with 29, and now I have 40, so which is 11 new subscribers. So thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Yeah. So enough of that. Now let's get into the main topics of this episode, which is basically just a little recap on the past 2 months slash 9 months, 10 months. Basically, I started going to the gym this year in 2025 in February. Yeah, the first week of February. And I've been going about 4 or 5 days a week, every week. There were like 2 or 3 times I skipped a day because I was sick or I was tired or I just didn't go. I can't remember the reason. It was only like 3 or 4 times. But other than those 3 or 4 times, every week I've been going to the gym at Planet Fitness. And before I started, I want to say I weighed like 280 pounds or something. And then 2 or 3 months in, I weighed myself again, like two. And I want to say 2 months in, I weighed myself and I gained 10 pounds. I was 290 pounds. And I was taking creatine, so my friend that I go with, he said it's probably just like water weight from the creatine. And I was like, yeah, hopefully, I hope so. Probably not, because I don't eat healthy, but I'm trying to eat more protein now. And but it could have been water weight and also fat. Who knows? But I was like, I told my dad, and then he was like, just keep going to the gym and don't even weigh yourself until like 6 months later, a year later, or something. So I didn't weigh myself for like a while, and it's been 9 months now, 10 months. Well, we're in October, so then minus 1 month, so yeah, 9 months now, basically. I weighed myself again today, and I lost 13 pounds, which is pretty cool. Um, which, it's not that much, but it's better than, gaining weight, so that's awesome. I started playing pickleball about 3 or 4 weeks ago. That's pretty fun. I play every Sunday. I started working on my novel, which I'm calling The Boy Who Grew Wings. I started working on, I guess, chapter 1, but also just writing down any little ideas and notes about, like, the world, like the world building, what I want to happen in the story. And, yeah, I haven't finished chapter 1. It's just, like, ideas right now. But I book hop because I have like 4 or 5 novel ideas, and I don't just well, first of all, I don't have time every single day to work on them, which is sad. But also, if I did have time, I can't think of just stuff to write, off the top of my head. It just comes to me as I live my life, and I'm like, oh, I gotta write that down. And so maybe like 30% of my writing is like on my phone, like while I'm at work or something, which is kind of crazy. Um, oh, yesterday or 2 days ago? What day is it? Sunday? Yeah, yesterday. I started playing. Oh, I have a Medic Quest. I don't know if you can see it right there. For those of you watching, that's my Medic Quest 3. And I got a 30-day free subscription for Horizon Plus. And one of the games that I can play is called 11 Table Tennis. I think that's what it's called. It's a VR ping pong game, basically. And I was playing that, and that was really fun. You guys, I recommend it. I think it's a $30 game, but I believe right now on the Meta Store it's on sale for like $17 or $18, like $17.99 or something like that. Totally recommend it. I give it an 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5. I feel like it would be better if it had if it was on like that MetaQuest Pro or whatever, because there's like camera sensors in the controllers, or maybe if you're playing on Vivid, Vivid. You know, the VR PC ones. I feel like it would be like way better because whenever your hand is not in front of your face, it has trouble tracking its position, which could make it lag and stuff. But but like overall, it's a fun game. I recommend it. I started. Oh, um, if you guys follow me on social media, you might have seen that I said or announced that through my AI ads that I will be uploading 2 videos every month. But for like the actual schedule, I'm gonna try and upload a video or record and upload a video podcast every other weekend. So today is October 26th and it's Sunday, 5:22 p.m. and so I'm gonna try to upload this today or tomorrow, most likely tonight. It depends how much I need to edit it. So then the next episode won't come out until the 8th. Is that right? Yeah, because there won't be one. Wait, no. Next Sunday is the 2nd. So the 9th. Yeah. So like the 9th. And then after that, it'll be the 23rd of November. Yep. Does this sound good? I'm not asking. I'm telling you. So yeah, I will be uploading a video or a podcast video, whatever. If you're watching, Spotify lets me upload videos, which is weird, but it's cool. Like I like it, but it's weird because you would think it's just for like listening, but it's not just for listening. Yeah. So basically, if this is your first time listening to me, the point of this podcast is to it's basically like a video diary. Just so I can like document what I'm working on, specifically like my books and my projects, like stuff related to Lumina Nexus Studios, but also for my books. I plan on being an author for the rest of my life. It's just like a big commitment. I've only published one short story so far, but yeah, I want to be an author. I am an author already, technically, which is pretty cool. It's weird to say. If you would have asked me when I was like in middle school, if you would have told me like, hey, when you're 26 years old, you're gonna decide to be an author and you're gonna publish a book, I would have been like, what the hell are you talking? I can't read. I would have been like, I can't read. What do you mean I published a book? But yeah, and throughout school I had trouble reading and writing and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of crazy how far I've come in like, what is it, 10 years or something, 15 years? How old was I in middle school? I don't know. But yeah. I plan on creating lots of books, at least right now in my notes or whatever. I subscribe to another subscription thing. It's called Novel Crafter, and it's pretty cool. Let me open it up right now. You won't see it, but Novel Crafter. If you're, yeah, sorry, that was probably loud. If you are planning on being a writer, writing novels or even short stories, I highly recommend Novel Crafter. It has like a AI tools in it to help you. Like it'll give you stuff. It'll like write the book for you, or it'll just like rewrite sentences or paragraphs, or basically you can use the AI as much as you want. or you don't have to use AI at all. You can just use it to store your book ideas and like the catalog your character names and like the world building rules, and like if you have a magic system like Harry Potter, you can keep track of all of that. And if you just start manually typing, writing something that will contradict something in the past that you already wrote, it will tell you. If you set it up right, it will tell you, which is really cool. Especially if if each chapter is like 10,000 words and you have like 100 chapters in your book, you're only human. You're gonna forget. So Novel Crafter is a very useful and handy tool for writers. So I wanted to list off all of my book ideas. I have one called The Daydreamer, and that one's gonna be about a boy. I'm still workshopping like the story, but for sure, I want there to be either a boy or a young man, and he has flashbacks about when he was a boy, but he has the ability to hallucinate, and he can also he can like control his hallucinations, and for the most part, he's like always hallucinating. He's like live vivid dreaming, lucid dreaming, but in real life. So like when he's awake, it kind of feels like a dream. Like he doesn't really know it's real, other than the fact that he can feel pain. But sure, you can feel pain in a dream, and yeah, he's just constantly hallucinating. But as he gets older, he learns to control the hallucinations. So he can kind of turn it on and off later on. That's the goal. But I kind of wanted it to be like a hindrance at first, and like his family will think he's crazy. But then as he gets older, he'll realize he's not crazy. It's basically like a mental ability. And I also want him to have a photographic memory, which will like interlinked with his hallucination ability, which was like he can hallucinate a clock like just floating right in front of him, and because he has a photographic memory or an eidetic memory, like he can remember everything. He will like look at a real clock, see the second hand and the hour hand and the minute hand, and then imagine his own clock. And then because he remembered the time, he can just always have his imaginary clock be on time and useful. And even if he like stops imagining it, it's still in his head, so he can always like bring it back. Kind of like a computer, which is kind of scary. Like he can have tabs, multiple tabs open, and even if he like closes all the tabs, his brain's still kind of like a computer, so he can just bring back hallucinations whenever he wants. And then my other book idea or novel is called "Do You Have the Time?" And I finished the first two chapters. Like I know I said this like 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I finished the chapters, two chapters, and this is gonna be a good book. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 85% sure there's a good chance it might be like a New York Times bestseller if I get enough marketing on it when I publish it, which I can't afford marketing, so it probably won't be a New York Times bestseller. But yeah, if I could market it, I feel like it would. I believe I could be wrong, but I believed in order to become a New York Times bestseller for a book, you I think it has to be published by a publishing company. I could be wrong, and or it needs to get 1,000 people need to buy it within 1 week, something like that. So yeah, I mean a New York Times bestseller isn't really all that to brag about. It's just more of like a marketing thing. but it would be that was a pretty useful marketing thing that people like to say. Like, it's a New York Times bestseller, and they add it on their books, like the newer copies. So yeah, this is and the premise is about a young man. I think I said he would be 19 years old. Thinking about changing it to like 20 or 21. I don't know yet. But he's a young man, and he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, like job wise, and he has the ability, the mental ability, to know how long something did take or will take. So he can look at a rock in a park and wonder how long has that rock been there? And he honestly does not know. But once he thinks that thought, that question, he will then know 4 years, 5 months, 5 weeks, 6 days, 12 hours, 15 minutes, and 5 seconds. Just like that. Like it'll be like a memory he forgot, and he just remembered it. Sorry. I don't normally talk this long, so my throat's getting dry. Um, I started working on a new project a week ago. It's it's a novel or a book. It's called Skybound Trails, and you guys might not. I don't know. You might have mixed feelings about it, but it's a book. So my friend introduced me to Sora, the Sora 2, that AI thing, and I told it to make me an ad for my novel, for my book, and I didn't tell it the name of the book, and it just made up a book. It's called Skybound Trails. Like, please buy my book, and I didn't tell it to say that. It just chose to say that, and I looked that up to see if that was a book online. And there is no book called Skybound Trails. There was like a company called Skybound something. I forgot what it was. And there was a few business names related to Skybound, and I think a few websites. But there was no books, no novels or anything. And so, because I'm an AI junkie, I was like, what if I made a book called Skybound Trails? So, um, in that AI Sora video, the cartoon me and the anime me said that it's about a guy who um, talks to his mom every weekend or something like that, and that there's dragons and something else. And I wrote that stuff down. And I told Gemini, I was like, hey, which is an AI thing. I was like, hey, can you make me a book um, called Skybound Trails about a hero who talks to his mother every weekend and is trying to protect the village or something like that. I can't remember what I wrote. I gave it a little prompt. It was like 3 sentences or less. And I was like, make this a story. And I clicked, send. And it gave me like a little short story. I think I told it to make it a short story. And it was good. I was like, hey, can you keep the story going? And then it did. And then I asked it like 10 more times, can you keep the story going? And it was good. It's really good. I don't know. It sounds like the stuff that it uses, like it created like a guard who flies a gold dragon. And I started listening to the audiobook of Fire and Blood and Fire. What is it called? It's a Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin, The House of the Dragon, something like that. And they mentioned a gold dragon. So I don't know if maybe Gemini, like, use that book and knowledge to create its own gold dragon, or I don't know if that's a popular type of dragon in fiction, like a gold dragon. But I kept reading the story. I've never heard anything like it before. Um, it's not like a very complex story that it made up, but it does seem original. So it's just about like a guy who's guarding his village, and there's like monsters and stuff and dragons, and it's like a whole fantasy world. And they don't have technology, but they have magic, and they have like crossbows and arrows, and and they don't have cell phones, but they have like magic rocks that you can use to FaceTime your mom or whatever. And it created like this whole world, and I didn't write any of it. And I'm debating if I should just publish it. I kind of want to. I even had it make. I used Copilot to make my a book cover for it, because the Sora video also made a book cover, but it's like super blurry. And I took a screenshot of the video and like I cropped it, and I gave it to Copilot, and I said, hey, can you use this as inspiration to make me a book cover called Skybound Trails by Timothy Valdez, and then it did, which is pretty cool. And I was and it made me the book cover, and it looks really nice. But I was thinking about like if I should upload it or not, and according to Amazon, like it's fine. You can upload AI content. You just can't spam it. Like 10 books a day. You can't be publishing like crazy, especially if you didn't write it. It's gonna be flagged for like trash content, basically. But if you don't have to, but they want you to let them know, hey, is this was this AI generated? And then you say yes. If well, you don't have to, you could just lie, but they want you to say yes. And then once you click yes on the Kindle Direct Publishing website, there's 4 sub options. It's like, yes, this is 100% AI generated, was no editing. And then yes, this is AI generated, but with a little bit of editing or little to no editing. And then this is AI generated, but it's heavily edited. And then I think there was another one that was like, it was AI edited. It was edited with AI or something like that. So like you wrote it, but you had AI edit it, which is like the opposite of having the AI write it and you edit it. You know what I mean? So there was like specific. They wanted to be specific. So I am going to edit the story a little bit, but like not that much, like 10-20%. So like the actual plot for this book alone, I'm gonna let the AI just write the story because it was pretty good. Like I would never have imagined that. And but I'm gonna like edit it just a little bit, just so it sounds cohesive and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm thinking of turning it into like a kind of like a comic book, how they release issues at a time, and it's not like the whole story all at once. You have to buy each individual little chunk of stories, which is kind of like chapters. I was thinking of doing that with this book, and I'm gonna let people know, like in the description or whatever, like it's like 80% AI generated. But yeah, it's so. I know people hate that. Some people hate it, or they hate AI in general. But like for books, they hate that. Oh, why are you having the AI write the book? I would never read a book that's just AI generated. But like if you didn't, I don't want to say if you didn't know, but like if you just gave it a chance and then you read it, what happens if you love it? Are you still just not gonna ever read AI stuff ever again? If it's an original piece, nobody's ever written that before, and it's a good story, who cares if it's AI generated? That's how I feel about it. Um, but the other book ideas, like the Cursed Hourglass, the boy who grew wings, Do You Have the Time, the Daydreamer. These are my um, story ideas, book ideas. Like I came up with the premise and stuff, and Yeah, I'm still working on them, writing them. I haven't forgot about them. They're gonna be um, stories from me. Like I'm actually typewriting them, but because I get writer's block kind of easily, or I don't know how to like transition between chapters, or also because I've never written a book before besides my short story. I've never written like a full length novel before, so I within Novel Crafter I will be using AI to give me ideas or to rewrite some stuff or to like if I honestly like if I can't think of what to write for this chapter, I will be like, hey, can you, based off the previous chapters that I wrote, the past 10 chapters, can you write chapter 11 for me to continue the story? And then I will read it, of course, to make sure it lines up to with the context and the story and the vision that I have of the whole book in general. And then I'll edit it and to make it fit in and be cohesive and stuff. But I'm gonna, I'll be like, okay, thank you, and then I'll continue writing the next chapter because I'm really eager to write that chapter because I know what I want to happen there. I just didn't know what I want to happen there. You know what I mean? I just took an hour and a half nap, so my hair was kind of messy. That's why I'm wearing this hat. This is my dad's business. Hashtag shout out to my dad's business. Um, it might be in reverse. It's called Unico. He sells like plastic forks and disposable containers and to-go boxes and stuff like that. He has a website, so you can check it out too. It's called Unico Food Service of California.com, something like that. Hashtag not sponsored. Hashtag if you're listening to this, Dad, you should sponsor me. Well, anyway. Oh, speaking of websites, today I just created a new website. It's called authortimothyvaldez.com. And it's basically like a link tree. It's got a little bio, my name, my social media links, and I need to work on it a little more. I'm gonna add my books, like my Amazon links, to the books so you can buy them. I only have one right now, but yeah, yep. I think that's it. I don't really know. I don't have much else to say. It's been like 30 minutes or so. So yeah, let me look at my notes real quick. I took notes for the. Oh, on my way this morning, I had this sentence idea. I don't know if I'll use it in a book or maybe just an outro for the podcast or something. But it says the sentence. It just popped in my head. I don't know why, but it was like, there might only be one God, but He's not the only creator. I don't know. I thought that sounded fire, and then like add an edit of that of me creating stuff. But yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, and yeah. Bye.